Hi, this is B from Sorcery Soap, and today we're going to make a teddy bear like that. So I thought I would make it in butterscotch gold. And it seems like there's a shadow right here. Let's see if we can fix that. Is that a little bit better? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so like I talk about in my books, particularly the Magic of Soap Dough book, one of the things I talk about is basic shapes. So one of the basic shapes for this guy, so if you haven't made anything with soap dough or polymer clay or anything, I find that in the beginning for me it was hard to figure it out, to like back engineer it a bit. And so the basic shape for this guy would be the core thing that he is, which is right here. Oh, he has a little bit of dough on him. Right here, this is a cone. It's an offset cone, but it's still a cone. So let's make him a cone, just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, and it isn't perfect, right? This is a little sticky. Let me use a different one. It's so much harder to make some of these with stickier soap dough, so let's use that. That's probably even a good example to show you the difference between. So this soap dough, here we go, this is a little bit darker. You can see the plastic is a little bit old and it looks like really shiny, that quality. This may be, maybe a couple weeks old. So, and you can see how it's sort of starting to cleave a bit, and which means break apart and not stick together, but it does. There's enough moisture in there. So, yeah, see, this is a lot nicer to work with. Okay. Okay. So, we're going to make a cone. Let's see. First, make a circle. Oops, sorry, little bear. Put you over here. Make a circle, and then make a cone. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Let's see, right? So we don't need that much of him. There. And I'll take the top off when I'm ready to set his head on. There. Okay. So let's do his feet. More little cones. Ready? Bonk. There's his feet. See? They look like that. Sorry, my fingers are, I did a little manicure, but super dry out here right now. I took a temperature. For those of you that don't follow me on Facebook, on my personal page, which is fine, but I posted it the other day, and I used my temperature gun, and I took a temperature reading of the wall of my house just because it seemed extraordinarily hot. It was like 186 degrees on the wall. And granted, that's not the air temperature, and if the walls of your house are hot, you can guarantee that your AC is going to be running. I'm so many people in the world that don't have air conditioning and live in this very same condition, so I'm really, really grateful. There's been always this thing in my mind that, and I don't know where it came from, but I always felt like, my whole life, I felt like there's going to be a day when I don't have toilet paper. So every time I use toilet paper, I'm so grateful I have toilet paper. Then I take it a little step further. So grateful I have indoor plumbing. Odd that it came true. Okay, so there's a little bit. There. So I always grew up with indoor plumbing, but one of my grandmothers, there was a time when they had an outhouse. They left the outhouse, but they had an outhouse, which I was like, wow, that's crazy, but it seemed very convenient for us kids. when we were out playing, we weren't allowed in the house. And so it's like, I've lived a long enough life to know that people didn't always have, even in this world that we live in, didn't always have. And there's lots of people all over the world that don't have indoor plumbing. So I feel pretty fortunate. So we're going to set his hands on the side. So if I ever go too fast or you want me to explain something a bit further, just let me know in the comments. Because, you know, like these guys, I mean, I've made these like in so many different forms and fashions. Sometimes I do stuff that seems sort of normal to me, or I don't know, that just seems, I need to break it down sometimes, and that's okay. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to explain. So I just pulled off the top because I did one thing in 2 strokes, which is like I mashed his arms so that they stick, and then I made the top of his head, or the top of his body, exposed softer dough so that I can stick his head on. So let's make his head. So this is a different type of head than the one I just made. Oh, sorry, that's a different video. Sorry. Okay, so I want his head to be a little bit bigger than his body. Like, see how his head is a little bit bigger than his body? So I might have to take some more soap dough off of here. Make it a little bit. You can make his belly a little bit more like Winnie the Pooh-ish, but I was trying to avoid that. And this is about the color I would use for Winnie the Pooh, by the way. The butterscotch or the light gold. Butterscotch is a little warmer than the light gold, but I make them both because then it gives, if you need a special color, then it gives you opportunity, because I can't always keep everything in stock. And so I want to make a nose for him. That's why I'm pushing my thumbs in like this and then like this to make a nose. I have a fuzz on my finger. And then make his head a little rounder and just start to soften it up a bit. So he has a little bit of a nose. There. We'll set his eyes right in there. I still got fuzz. Huh. Okay, so his eye there and his eye there. Like that. That's not how big his eyes are going to be, but just in the space that I want to have an idea where I'm going to set them. So as long as you can get that head right, almost the body is not as important, but it all is important in order to take in a guess. I know people ask me, how do you make them look so cute? The other day I realized I was really thinking about it, and somebody's comment left an impression on me. She says, how do you always make them look so cute and look so sweet? And I'm like, well, that didn't happen overnight, but what I can say is that, and I thought about this quite a long time, is like, I kept wanting to copy everybody else, and then finally when I said, you know what, I have some niceness in me. I mean, I always knew I did, but I didn't ever share it. Not ever, but I didn't share it often. And I thought about her, the person who made the comment, I don't even remember now, boo on me. And I said, well, I'm sure you have sweetness inside of you. You could just let it out. And that really helped me quite a bit to see the world a little bit differently. Okay, so here's a good practice. So you put the eyes in right now and you say, oh, that looks pretty good, right? Looks okay. Okay, great. So now we're gonna stick his head on, and I want him to be a little bit cocked like that, so. Okay. Did I set it too far back? Oh, he's leaning forward, that's for sure. see. Oh, that looks okay. Because I can do this. You know, sometimes I just like, I trust what's going on. I trust the process. Like, that's not what I actually had intended, but I think it looks all right, actually. So let's do that. I'll have to make his ears. So he looks a little bit forward, but here's what I like about that. So I can grab some of this. There. And what I also noticed, so see how he's forward a bit? So he's all sitting over top of himself, which I don't mind at all. That looks pretty cute. So this guy, he's sitting over top of himself. His belly's a little bit bigger. Okay, great. That's fine. Okay. I just want to make sure that it all adheres, because you know there's no greater disturbance to me than my soaps have sat there and cured for 2 months, and then I go to wrap them and something pops off, and then I'm like, oh well, I said I was, in my mind I said, oh, I was gonna have, you know, X amount of bars. Now I have one less because I can't repair it. Okay, so that looks okay. Okay, so now let's put his ears on. Maybe I'll put his nose on first. Okay. So, do we have that? No, we didn't have that. Let's just put a nose on there. It's too big. No, and that's too small. Okay, that looks good. I'll leave that for a second. Let's make some eyeballs. It's going to be too big. Maybe half of those. Yeah. Okay. So I was wondering about this idea. Let me see, where's my other? Do I want to put in a little line there? Let's see what that looks like. Okay. And then we want to put a spot for his nose. Sometimes I can pick these up with the with the paintbrush. Sometimes I can't. There. Oops. Okay. It's starting to come to life, huh? Okay. Let's do his ears now. my little weird technique of this, and you get two sides of two of the ears. Let's see how big. I think I want them to have a little divot in them. Like that. Okay, so what do I mean by a little divot? I'll show you here. Like that. It's not really a divot necessarily, but whatever. Spot. So I want to put him up behind his eyes. Oh, I could just feel him move. See, this is where it starts to, I gotta paint him with water yet so he stays and he gets hard and firm and then he stays just like he is. Because I like him just like he is right now, even with his little forward leaning head. Okay, I want his ears to flop over just a bit. And ears will break off if you don't really make sure that they're on there. So that's why I try to flop them over just a bit or make them really much thicker, because then you have less chance of them. Oops, I'm smashing his legs. There we go. And I smashed his nose. Okay. Okay. Okay, there you go. There's a little bear for you. A little city up bear. A little bear. Okay, so let's see if we can get his ears to stick on just a bit better. So what I'll do is this, while the soap dough is still a bit, and if you're new to the channel, soap dough is cold processed soap that's kept pliable. So I have tons and tons of information about soap dough, and poke around on the website. All the links, I make links as available as and easy to get to as possible, sorcerysoap.com. And I have over 300 blog posts, over 200 videos, and take a look around, see if, you know, there's a search option. I'm sure you can find that on my website, and you can get your answers immediately. You don't have to wait for me to respond, because I can't always respond right away, but I'm happy to when I can. And so anyway, sorry, I should have said that earlier. So there you go. Let's give him a little spray with alcohol. It's got a little mung right there. There. And so there's your bear. So I hope that helped. Leave me a comment below. Tell me what you're up to. Tell me what you're working on. And if you have a question that I can help you with, or you think I can help you with, leave it there too. So thanks for watching. Bye.